Alright guys, I'm going to walk you through a really quick review and then you can start your practice. So to start, let's try number 1, 28x cubed minus 63x. I'd like for you to look at that and see what you want to do. If we take out a 7x, right, it's a binomial, okay, when you only have 2 terms, a lot of times you're going to look and see if they're perfect squares, but right now they're not. I can take out a GCF of 7x, right, which gives me 4x squared minus 9. Then again, I take a look one last time, it's a binomial, and 4 and 9 are perfect squares, and there's a minus in the middle. Remember, if it's a perfect squares, then it has to be a minus in the middle for it to work. So you can factor this one more time to give you, this is a 2x, this is a 3. So 2x plus 3, and then 2x minus 3. Right. Number 2. 2xy minus 2x minus 3y plus 3. Try that one. It says 4 terms, right? Remember, when you have 4 terms, the first thing you look at is factor by grouping. So you should put these 2 together and these together. Remember, there's a minus in the middle, which kind of changes it up a little bit sometimes. So you can take a 2x out of the first 2, giving me y minus 1. Then there's a minus in here. If you look at this is a plus. So if I don't take a negative out, then they're not going to match. So take out a negative 3 to give you y minus 1. Remember, I've got 2x times y minus 1 and negative 3 times y minus 1. So to write it in a shortcut, we just say, okay, 2x minus 3, all of that multiplied by a y minus 1. 2x times y minus 1, and 3 times y minus 1. Number 3, 64x cubed minus 125y cubed. Think about our steps, look for GCFs. There are 2 terms, it's a binomial. Are they perfect squares? Are they perfect cubes? Right, so this one is they're perfect cubes, correct? This would give me a 4x and a 5y. Our little trick would be your binomial of 4x, if this is a minus, you stay minus, 5y, and then we use our little sofas to help us remember the trinomial. Because a difference of perfect cubes gives us a binomial and a trinomial. You try the trinomial now. The first S means square the first term. So in other words, square the 4x. It would be 16x squared. The O stands for opposite, so if we have a minus, we're now a plus. F stands for the 2 factors. Okay, I realize that this is a negative 5y, but our sign was determined by the O. So 5y and 4x make 20xy. A stands for add, remember? And the S stands for square the last term. So 5y squared is 25y squared. Number 4. 12y squared plus 5y minus 2. It's not a binomial, so it's not a difference of perfect squares or cubes. It's not 4 terms, so you can't factor by grouping. Look for a GCF, 12, a 5, and a 2, there's not. This is just a plain old trinomial. Now, it's a trinomial, though, with a leading coefficient. So try to think about what you're supposed to do with that problem. Hoping you remember that it meant you take the 12 and the negative 2 and you multiply those together. So in your t-chart, what numbers they're going to multiply to give me negative 24 and add to give me your middle term, your 5. You can flip them either way. So 24 would be 8 and 3. It's a positive 5, so we need the 8 to be positive. Then you have to take the 12y and bring it over here and divide both by your 12y. You're going to simplify. Okay, in this case, they both simplify. If they both simplify, you need to look back over and make sure it didn't have a GCF. It didn't, so we're okay. But if they both simplify, it's kind of a reason to look over. Now, 4 fits into both of these. Giving us 2 over 3y. 2 over 3y. And then here, 3 fits into both, giving you negative 1 over 4y. Your two factors then are 3y plus 2 and 4y minus 1. And if you aren't sure, guys, go back and check. A 4y and a 3y make 12y squared. Okay, and then because there's leading coefficients, you can FOIL it all out. But you know at least the first term is right. You can FOIL the whole thing and combine like terms and check. Okay, last one. A squared minus 9a plus 14. This has 3 terms. So it's a trinomial you're going to factor. It has no GCF. There's no leading coefficient. There's nothing here but a 1. So this is the shortcut, the easy one, the AN, right? Add to give me negative 9, multiply to give me 14. Well, multiples of 14 are 1 and 14 and 2 and 7. So it's the 2 and 7. So you just want A minus 7 and then A minus 2. And you're done. Alright, now that you've finished these, you can start your factoring practice.